Flyboys are the focus today as we are talking with Rylan Lujo, who has been Rookie of the Week in the A-10 multiple times this season. Rylan, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Yes, sir.
You are from a stacked high school program. You're a big part of that, and 4 state championships in Florida, quite a few national championships. And you haven't missed really a beat in stepping into the college game. They always say that's a big step up. What has been the biggest adjustment from high school to where we are right now in Division I?
Probably just, I always say, like, just the longevity of it, just how many games you're playing. And, you know, like this season I haven't had any games off, and nor do I want any games off. Just, you know, being able to play every day. I'd say whereas in high school we have 20-something games, here in college we have 50, you know, so like 4 games a week when we're starting up, because you got that midweek too. So that's the biggest adjustment, is just being able to keep your body right, because whoever is able to keep your body feeling 100% or as close to 100% as possible for as long as possible, you're going to end up being the most successful.
Coconut Creek, Florida, Marjorie Stone, Douglas High School, and I mentioned you playing for a stacked team. There were so many that were able to sign, a couple of them getting drafted in the MLB. Yeah. From being around that group, and I know you also got to play with your brother for a year, how did that prepare you and get ready for the college game?
I mean, it's just exactly what you said, you know, like these high level players, it prepares you, because when as a freshman stepping into college, my first couple games, I was like, okay, are these kids going to be bigger? Are these kids going to be stronger? And my first game, I stepped here and I was like, okay, these kids aren't much bigger. They're not much stronger, you know? Like, I played with the best. I mean, I've played with these major league caliber players. So by the time I came to the college level, it was nothing, not a step up. So it was just basically the same, it felt.
Well, and I guess that makes sense. And what we saw earlier in the season, and you just hitting the cover off the ball, and you've been so consistent since then. I guess you maybe have answered it. You haven't even been surprised about the way you've performed so far this year. Even with all that, the multi-hit games, you know, a couple of multi-homer games, do you even sort of stop and think, like, I'm still just a freshman?
No, I don't think. I mean, I've always been huge on, like, age doesn't really matter. So I think if you ask the coaches, they'll say the same thing. I tell them that all the time. Like, they always say, to be a good college team, you have to have experience on the team. But I think baseball is such a game where it's just so skillful. You know, I don't think it's like you got to be an athlete. You got to be so skillful and so, like, naturally skilled in the game. To be, if you have players that are so skillful, then they're gonna be able to win. You know, if you have good players, they will win. It's not a game where, but that's just my side of it. Obviously, some experience comes into it. You know, like, my first 3 games are different than my last 3 because I have the experience, but it's not that big of a jump as I believe. So,
what's your favorite thing about baseball?
Favorite thing about baseball? Probably hitting a home run. Because when you hit it, you don't have to. You're on your own time. You just jog.
That was the same answer of your teammate and Michael DiMartini amongst hitting, because I know you two have been just dynamic this year, and I'm also going to throw in Dyson Waters, a part of that mix. How much fun is it to be able to sort of feed off your teammates?
It's awesome, especially like when DiMartini is hitting in front of me. You know, we have so much fun together. We have a handshake, and Dyson, you know, he's batting at the bottom of the order. So when you're able to have that kind of guy who's consistently getting on base, so you have people in scoring position, and you're hitting with people on base, when Dy gives us that opportunity, and we could, you know, act upon it, and we could make things happen on the field. I mean, it's a great it's awesome.
Watching your teammates and sort of going back and forth with them, have they taught you anything and sort of adding something to your arsenal so far here early in your college career?
I'd say Demar I think mainly just Demar lets me lets me know sometimes to stay composed a little bit. You know, if I'm a little mad that something just didn't go my way, or I didn't get a hit my first 2 at bats and I'm a little mad, just Demar's like, hey, just remember who you are. Your last 2 at bats don't define you. But same thing with me to him, you know, but there's a reason. The reason you're able to put up the numbers you do, and the reason you are as good as you are, is because you don't get satisfied over certain things. You know, like I want to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. You know, that's always the case. So
you're talking about trying to improve, and I guess now, you know, there's no secret out there. They understand sort of what's in Dayton's lineup, and that includes you right in the middle of it. You were talking about sort of the big adjustment from high school to college, and that just being the volume of games played. Is there maybe like an added pressure of trying to sort of deal with how teams are trying to get you out?
No, I mean, I tell the coaches and our players all the time, like, hitting is so hard in this game. You know, you're supposed to fail 7 out of 3 times, right? And then you're in the Hall of Fame. Like, they say that they say that all the time. So I say, I mean, even if I get out, it doesn't mean the pitcher got me out. So, like, sometimes it's, you know, I hit a ball very hard to somebody. You know, you still won that at bat. It's not like the pitcher won that at bat. On paper, you got out, but if you hit it hard, then that's all you could do, you know, because that's just how the game's going to go. You're not always going to find a hole.
You've been one of the top hitters in the league throughout the season. There have been so many highlight moments, 5-hit games, so many 3-hit games. And then, you know, I think about that sliding catch and sort of that first week down in Florida. Do you have a favorite moment so far in this season?
Probably just a home run against Ohio. You know, my first home run against Ohio, and I started finally feeling good about myself. And I told Demar too, you know, I went a long time in that beginning of the season without a home run. And I was like, my swing doesn't feel right. I don't feel like the player that I'm supposed to be. And then when I started, you know, hitting them, then they came in bunches, and I started feeling good again. And in that same game, I hit the one to tie it, I think, or to take the lead or tie it in that, like, bottom of the 9th or top of the 9th. And so I'd say that's probably my favorite game, because I feel like that's when everything clicked.
Describe that feeling coming around third base, knowing that you got it, and then seeing your teammates.
Just, I remember that feeling in Ohio. I was doing well that game. I think that was my 4th hit of the game or something. So I was rounding the base, and I told Coach Spoley, our third base coach, I was like, why would they pitch to me there? I was like, I didn't think it was smart, but
it was not.
It was, but yeah, it was just a moment. It was amazing, and especially to see, like, it's awesome when you could feel like you're contributing to the team so much. You know, that's what everyone wants to feel. Just feel like they matter. So obviously when I hit home and everyone is in the dugout, that's the best feeling. That's also what goes with it when you hit a home run, just the excitement.
Been a big part of the Flyer family, and I know family's big for you, and you mentioned sort of your success at the college game, and you contribute a lot to it, your older brother. How has he been in sort of your development coming along here the last few years?
I mean, huge, especially having an older brother. It helps so much, because, you know, you can see everything that they do, and then you want to mimic it, you know, because that's my role model, you know. So I've always been like the younger brother. So I guess like the typical younger brother, like the hothead, you know. If something happens that doesn't go my way, I'm gonna speak back, I'm gonna talk back, whatever. But then he's always been there by my side through my upbringing, just to let me know, like, hey, chill. Like even during summer ball, if an umpire says something, I'm like, bro, come on, no way. But then my brother's there, hey, move, you know. just keep there, stay calm. So to be able to have him is beyond words could express.
And then it's cool now because, correct me if I'm wrong, your brother's still playing college ball, and
Yeah.
you kind of get to be a fan and watching him.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, whenever his games are on, he always sends me the link because he knows that I want to watch it. And he's doing amazing too. He was batting 400, and he's looking to go somewhere after this year. So
Playing at Fort Lauderdale.
yeah.
And then mention the family. You're the grandson of Pirates legend, two-time World Series champion Rennie Stennett. Give me a cool story about your grandfather growing up.
My grandpa, I mean, he used to get mad at me sometimes because we used to always go out to hit, and whenever we would go out to hit, as I was telling you, he lived decently far, so he'd come and he'd stay for like we had no idea how long he's gonna stay for, and he ended up staying for like a month, just sleeping on our couch, and then we'd go to the cages, and I was probably like 10. I'm like, Grandpa, like it's hot. I don't want to go like South Florida weather. It's like it's so hot. I don't want to go to the cages. I'll just go there. And he's like, he used to always call me like AI, because Allen Iverson.
Oh yeah.
Because he hated practice. That same way I hated practice. I loved to just play in the game. And he's like, you gotta learn how to practice. You gotta learn how to practice. When you get older, you're gonna have to work harder. You're gonna have to work harder. And as you get older, you obviously you learn the game more, and you learn you have to work hard. You gotta do this, whatever. But it was always funny, like knowing, like especially now. I mean, I'd do anything to practice with him, you know. So yeah, that was funny.
Rylan, it is awesome you sharing a family story. We, again, thank you so much, and then we're so thankful that you're a part of the Flyer family. Best of luck moving forward.
Yes, sir.